Having moving parts in your game can make it a lot more fun. Let's take a look at different ways that you can do that in Roblox. Hello everyone, it's Lewis from LogoLife bringing you a series dedicated to Roblox game development. In this video, we'll be learning various ways in which you can move parts in your game. Let's get started. Alright, in today's video, we're going to learn how to move a part. So let's go ahead and add parts here. We're going to add a script to it. And for the movement, we'll actually be doing for loops. So if you haven't seen the loops video, I highly recommend you check it out. You learn for loops and while loops. For this one, we'll do for counter. That's the control variable. We'll start at 1. We'll go up to 10 and we'll increment the loop by 1 every iteration. That's our setup here, but we do need to define a variable for the part. So we'll call that part is equal to script.parent. Then we'll change the position of the part as follows. Part.position is equal to its previous position plus a change, and that will be given by this vector 3. We want to move it along the x-axis. So if we go in our game here, we can check it out. The red axis here, that is the x-axis. It's moving on the left side to the positive direction. So when we add our first coordinate here, 1, we should see the part moving to the left, and we'll leave the rest at 0. Also want to move the spawn here so we can spawn facing towards the part and then check it out. We also want to add a wait, otherwise the movement will happen so fast we won't get to see it. So I'll put a 1 second per iteration and then we'll hit play to check it out. The most basic way to move a part with a script, you can see right here, indeed the part is moving to the left as we showed. Now that's it. It's done already. It's 10 cycles. Now, one thing that you should have noticed is that it's very kind of jittery. And even if we, let's say we increment this to 100 so we can see a little bit more, and then we took the weight to 0.5, in theory that should make it a bit smoother, right? So let's just test it out and see how it looks. You can see it does move a little bit smoother than before, but it's still not the smooth that we want in our games. And actually, I will show you a fix for that in this video called tweening. But I want to show you why that's so important. And I still want to show you this, which is a basic way that you can move a part in your game. When it comes to movement, you should also know that there's another property called CFrame as well. So this here is an example of moving position, but you can actually achieve the exact same thing if instead of position you do CFrame. What is the difference? Like if I run this code, it actually will do exactly the same. All I did was change position to CFrame, and I want to show you how it does exactly the same thing. And you're like, wow, okay, cool. But why, in that case, why do we need to have both position and CFrame? Well, position only takes care of the vector 3, which is that 3-dimensional position of the part. Now, CFrame takes this step further by also taking care of the rotation of the object. So that's really the difference, okay? CFrames, they have positional information as well as rotational information. Here they behave the same just because I only messed with the position. But actually, if I take this whole thing here and I multiply by a CFrame angle, it'll actually also rotate as it goes. So I'm not gonna be too picky when it comes to like what specific angle I want to rotate it at. I just want you to get the concept that it really holds both the informations. And you can see like the first number would be the radians in the x direction, the second number is radians in the y direction, and the third radian, the third coordinate is the radians in the z direction. So I'm just gonna rotate it only along the x part. And as I said, I'm not too worried about how exactly it's gonna move. So I'm just gonna use the same control variable, and it should then just show a bit of rotation as well as it goes along. So let's go and see. Okay, look at that. So the object is moving. It's also rotating. And it also kind of tends to fall as well. Let's not forget that we did not anchor this part. So something to consider whenever you're doing anything in this game. But pretty cool that you get to see here how C-frames are a bit different. Actually pretty different than position, but they can achieve some similar things. Still, the problem remains. The motion is jittery, and if you want to have like a really smooth platform, something like a laser or something that's supposed to move in a very nice smooth way, then I wouldn't recommend you doing it this way. Even if you made the weight very, very little, it's not gonna be the optimal way to solve it. For that, we need Tweens, something called Tweens. And I want to do a really cool project here for us to actually practice that. So I'm gonna go to the toolbox, and I saw that there's a really cool vault like area, like a bank vault. Yeah, there he goes. This is the one, the bank vault. So whoa, we added it here to our game, and you can see it's got some pretty cool laser stuff. Nice lasers. It'd be nice if they would move to make getting to the vault that much cooler, right? That would be amazing if it could move. So let's do that. That's our goal for this video. Let's take this asset that someone made from the community, and let's power it up with the scripts. One of the things that's so amazing with scripts, you can then take what someone else did in the community and just make it that much better. So let's go. I like that. Okay, I want to move the spawn to go right here. We don't need the part anymore. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. And as far as the lasers go, I think it's a bit too many lasers, so I'm gonna take a look here, and I'm gonna delete a few of them. We don't need that many to get the point. So this one, I'm gonna move a little bit to the left. Okay. Now, lasers, in order for us to kind of fear them a bit, we have to respect them. They should be deadly. So in that case, let's go ahead and practice something that's known as making a kill block. So if you haven't done that for your obby, well, let's go quickly over that real quick. We start by making a variable for our part. So that's our laser variable. And every part in our game has the ability to access the touched events. So we'll do laser.touched, and we'll connect the function to that, which feeds the other part that touched. So that's going to be like the arms, the torso, the legs of the character that touched. So we'll then follow it up with the variable called humanoid, and we'll call that the other part, a parent, find first child, and humanoid. Make sure you do capital H in this humanoid here. Now what this is doing, again, this is the limb itself. So if we go one level higher than the limb, that should actually be the character itself. And then we're just looking inside the character whether or not we find a folder called humanoid. And if so, then we take the humanoid's health to 0. Also keep in mind this health needs to be capital H as well. And now if we hit play, the first laser will have already that element of danger, so we need to be careful, actually avoid it. But it's very easy to get to the vault because the lasers don't move, right? So we want to make it a challenging thing. I see, already rich. Okay, already we gotta make it a little bit harder. And yet again, the other lasers are not yet activated. It's only that first one. So let's take care of this. Let's make this first laser a lot more fun to deal with. So going into its script, we've already got this touched event, and that's cool, but we want to go further than that. So I'll actually, in the beginning, I'm gonna declare a variable for the tween service. That's what we're gonna be using to create the smooth motion. So you do tween service equals game, and then colon get service, tween service. Okay, that's step 1. Now we're gonna need to give 3 things to our tween service to create the motion. The first thing is we'll need to tell the tween service how we want the motion to be. That's gonna be information that we feed to it. So let's take care of that. We'll create a variable called info, and that's gonna be equal to tween info dot new, and then we'll go through and give it the different things it needs. So the first number highlighted here is it needs time, so how long the motion should be. I'm just gonna start off with 2 seconds, and then we'll see. Now the second number, that's in enum. Okay, it's enum. That's like kind of like a data type. It's a list of things. So whenever you see this that it requires an enum, you already know that you need to type enum first, then dot, and we are looking for the easing style enum. So we go to easing style, and then dot. And there are different ways that you can actually move the parts. So like for example, the sine, it says the speed is determined by a sine wave. Now I don't want to get too complicated. There's one option called linear, which moves the part at a constant speed. That's appropriate, so we'll put it there. We go comma. Next thing we want is easing direction, so it's also an enum. Same deal, enum dot easing direction dot, and then I just want to apply the motion in a forward direction. Now next thing, actually I think I forgot a comma. Okay, next thing, repeat count. Do I want to repeat? I'm just gonna say no, don't repeat, put 0. And then if I want to go back, like basically once I move my target destination, do I want the part to return to its original position? I'm gonna say yes to that. And the last thing is if I want to put a delay, I don't want to put any kind of delay, so that's also 0. That's taken care of this information part. Next thing we want is our target destination. So for that, I'm going to call it goals, and it's basically a table. In there, we'll put position, which is the thing we want to change. And then that position is going to be where we want the laser to go. So now it's just a matter of actually going in and testing. So I'll select the laser I want to move. I'm going to then move it bit higher, as high as I would like for it to actually go. I'll go to a position and just copy that information, and I'll go back and I'll just undo to reset the part to its original position. And we go back here, and now we can create a vector 3 and then just paste that position information inside of there. So we've got ourselves 2 out of the 3 things. Actually, the third one is the part itself that we want to move. So actually we're ready. We can create our tween. So I've been using this word tween, and you might be wondering, why is that? Why is it called tween? What is it trying to do? Well, basically what we were doing before was each frame we're basically changing the position of the part through a loop. What tweening does is actually we give it its the starting position and the ending position. And tween animation actually just lets the computer fill in all the in-between frames for us. So that's what makes the motion smooth. That's why we like tween service. So let's create a variable for the motion. So I'm gonna call it move laser 1, and that will be equal to tween service, and then create. And there you go. First thing we want to give it is the part, so our laser part. Then we want to give it the information and the goals where we want to move it to. Now we have it. We have it. We can actually use this tween by calling it like this. The name of the tween and then colon play. This will play one time and then stop. So I want us to actually get to see it a lot. So I'm going to create a forever loop, and then we should see it going all over. Every time you do a forever loop, you just remember to put a wait in there just to make sure you don't freeze your game. So I will do that. I'm gonna put a 1 second delay. So now let's go and check it out. The first laser should be moving. Nice. And then look at that. Hey, let's go. We've got ourselves our motion, and it's still, look at that. I have to avoid it. Otherwise, my character just cannot make it. So we've got ourselves a smooth motion here. That is awesome. We can do that similar thing with the rest of the lasers. So I'm quickly going to do that. It's the same idea as the rest. So I'm just going to go through, copy paste, and you'll see it fast forward. We'll see how cool of a vault entrance we can make with this. We'll see, guys, in a little bit. All right, so we've modified a bunch of these lasers. Let's check this out now. See if we got everything going. I just copied all the scripts and I moved around the different parts. Okay, so I guess the one thing I would do differently is maybe change the speed of some of the lasers. You can see already it's a lot more interesting than the way it was before. Oh my, and it chopped me up. Maybe it's a bit too high. Oh, let's go. You know what? Let's do that. I'm gonna make some of these lasers a bit faster than the others. So on this one, I'll do like 3. Then we'll make one that is 1. We'll make one that is 5. Now that should just make it a lot cooler. See? Oh yeah, okay, you see? Now we got ourselves some different obstacles. Can I make it into the vault? That is what I want to know. Okay, let's check this out. Oh my. Okay, the first one's not too bad. And this one, if I just make a little jump here, I should make it. Okay, that's my strategy. This next part is really the challenging one. It's so, I put the fastest laser at the end. So cruel. No. No way. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Let's go. Go full gamer here. Okay. Oh yeah, let's go. We made it. Let's get it. So that's what I'm talking about. I hope you guys liked it. You learned how to move some parts. You learned the difference between position and C-frame. You learned about tweening. We created some really cool tweens here for our secret vault door opening here. It is awesome, and I hope you guys like that. So if you enjoyed it, please make sure you give it a sub, give it a like, everything. Make sure you don't miss out on future videos. It's a blast having you. Keep an eye out for upcoming workshops on our website and join the Discord to get involved in our community. We'll see you on the next one. Oh yeah!